Welcome back, everyone, and happy Saturn Day. I am wearing my darker colors, blues and blacks for Shani today. And I hope you guys are doing okay. You've weathered the storm. We had two major eclipses, one of which was a stellium solar eclipse, followed by Saturn entering Pisces. I made a few videos about how that could affect us all by sign. So definitely check those out, especially if you're feeling that some tensions are still lingering. Maybe some old wounds are resurfacing with the Venus and Mercury retrogrades that also took place during the eclipses. And especially if your path is seeming a little unclear, a little foggy, because that's what Rahu energy can do. Now, Neptune was also involved in this eclipse, and I do follow the larger planets as well as the up to Saturn, because I was a Western astrologer for years. And my reading through the Upanishads and various Vedas helped me realize who Uranus and Pluto and Neptune were. So they played a heavy hand in some of the major events that we had as well. So if you're feeling especially tense, you're always welcome to schedule a private session with me. I'm here. I can definitely feel some of the stuff that you guys are going through as well. And there are a lot of remedial measures that you can take to help safeguard that beautiful empathic energy that needs to be given some extra care, especially with the very intense planetary transits that we're going through. I know that April is kind of drama too. So especially, I actually just watched a video that was released by my guru, Kamala Sutton. Definitely follow her. It's KOMILLASUTTON, Kamala Sutton. She's my teacher, my guru. She's an amazing astrologer. And she mentioned the Navamsha in her last post. And I looked at it. And she's right. It's a lot, you guys. It's not just the Rashi and what the planets are doing. It's also what they're doing in the Vamsha, which is 9 divisions deep in the chart. And what that does for us moving forward dharmically, it affects the sign of Cancer. And that's our security, our home, what makes us feel grounded. So it's really important that we gather around each other, help each other feel grounded during these times. And that's why I came up with a tarot spread that we can all do today, or oracle cards, whatever you prefer, to maybe provide us with a little bit of insight in taking our power back and weathering this planetary storm that we're all going through. So, all right, I wanted to take some time before we go into the tarot spread to say hello to some lovelies coming into the audience. The lovely Nancy is here. It is lovely to see you, Nancy. Thank you for joining us. She goes, good morning, Michelle and Jonathan. Say hi, Jonathan. There he is. He's got my back. Good morning, Jacqueline. It is lovely to see you, Jacqueline. And yes, the eclipse happened directly on Jonathan's moon nodal return, and he's also having a Saturn opposition in addition to this. So it's been extra for Jonathan. So we're sending lots of love to you, especially if you guys have some Leo placements in your chart as well, or Pisces placements as well. And the lovely Jessica is here. It's lovely to see you, Jessica. Thank you for joining us. And Jane, yay, good to see you, Jane. She goes, good morning, Jonathan, Michelle, Marie, everyone in chat. It's great to see you, Jane. And the lovely Hershey is here as well. Grand Rising, Michelle, Jonathan, and everyone in chat, sending blessings and positive vibes to all. Thank you, Hershey. That is very needed. And we are on today. I got my red tarot stash mug ready to take on the day. So appreciate you, sweetie. Yeah, I saw that you had a green one, and you said matching mugs. And Jonathan looks at me because he's red-green colorblind. He goes, well, they match to me. It just made me laugh. So I love that we both have our tarot stash mugs. And if you guys like my mug, the link is in the description. I'm always promoting Gerald because we can't have too much of him. He's a fabulous human being. So creative, you guys. Okay. The lovely Delphi is here. Delphi Ross, it's lovely to see you. I love the flowers in your handle photo. They're beautiful. Perfect for spring. So it's just so great to see all of you. And I hope you guys are having an okay Saturday. Jonathan and I are going to head over to the Saturday market today and get lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's what we're excited to do today. So I hope that you guys have something fun and interesting that you're doing to kind of ground yourself and do something positive and healthy for, mind, body, and spirit today. So, and Hershey goes, I love my tarot cup. And Jane says, we are fine. Yay, I love that. That's wonderful. Good to hear, Hershey. That makes me happy. All right. So today I wanted to guide you all through a tarot spread designed to help guide us through some of the crazy energies that we're undergoing and post-eclipse and retrogrades and all of the other stuff going on in the sky, especially with what my guru brought up with the Navamsha yesterday. That I looked at the charts and went, oh my gosh, it's a lot. So I think it's really necessary for us to kind of introspect during this time and find out what we can do to find that inner strength to really navigate these challenges, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the spread so you guys can see what I put together for y'all. So again, this is the Post-Eclipse Tarot spread. It's a bit of the aftermath that we're going through. And I'll show you guys what it looks like. Here it is. All right. So this is a 6-card spread. I didn't want to make it too big. But the first card it represents the primary wound or tension that may have been brought up to the surface by the eclipses, what's nagging at us. The second card is the trigger, because eclipses can do that. This card shows an immediate event or situation that's activating those eclipse-related feelings. What is setting us off? If you had a friend or a family member or someone that just went a little nuts during the eclipse, no, it was the eclipse, and that could have been the trigger. So it's important to tap into that. It could also be an old feeling or something related to that. So just introspect on what that could be. And then there's the old pattern. This card reveals a past pattern or behavior that you're repeating in this situation. What is your go-to reaction? And then card 4, I have wise action. This card offers the best course of action to take right now. What is the most constructive way forward? And then card 5, I call the healing balm. This card suggests what you need to do to nurture yourself and find that beautiful inner peace. What will soothe your soul? And then card 6, I have the emerging strength. So this is the card that shows the strength or positive outcome that can emerge from navigating this challenge. What will you gain? Okay, right. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll start with card 1. And I'll put the banner up so you guys can keep track of the cards that we're doing, okay? So here is the eclipse shadow. Now, this card, again, it represents the primary wound or tension brought to the surface by the eclipses, what's nagging at you. So what's nagging at me? Now, this might be some lingering grief. It could be unresolved anger can come to the surface during eclipses. It can be fear of the unknown. A lot of people are dealing with that. I know that Kamala Harris just came on and said that that's what she's dealing with post-eclipse. She's coming out on the news and saying we're dealing with a lot of fear right now, and you're not alone. So anything unknown that the eclipse brought to the surface that's like, ooh, unresolved that we need to look at. And I'm going to be doing this as well. So if you have a tarot or an oracle card deck nearby, go ahead and get to that. And feel free to welcome what you're getting to share. Your comments are welcome, I should say, in the chat as far as the kind of cards that you're getting. And I'm going to ask my guides for just one, so that I can really introspect on one card at a time. Okay, they want me to flip it. And again, you can do tarot or you can do oracle cards. All right. Whew. And I'll give you guys a little bit of time to pull up your cards. See what you guys are saying here. I have more than one channel open, so I'm just seeing what you guys have. Okay. Oh, Maruta's here. It's lovely to see you, Maruta. We are doing a tarot spread on post-eclipse energy. So it is lovely to see you. And this is the card that represents a primary wound or tension brought to the surface by the eclipses. What is nagging at us? And the lovely Lauren popped in. Good to see you, Lauren. Right. Okay. So, oh, Tamantha's here. It's good to see you, Tamantha. I see you popping in. And I'm glad you took a screenshot. I hope this helps you, Hershey. I hope it's already helping me because this actually, whew, this actually hits home for me. And I'm going to share my card with you guys. So I got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay. This is my appreciate what you have card. Okay. Because I've been a little worried about monetary stuff, the big move, a lot of things going on with Jonathan's health, things like that. So this is also, you know, a person in my life that could be a highly haughty individual that's acting a little bit like a snob. And, you know, if we see these tendencies in ourselves, we need to work them out. But what I'm getting from this is that I need to be very grateful for the material possessions that I do have and not worry so much about money. As you guys know, Jonathan and I went through a major financial catastrophe in 2023 into 2024, where we lost everything, our house, our his retirements, everything else. And I am worried about his Social Security too. Now, I have been able to do well with our business, and I've been very responsible with money and really penny pinching quite a bit, but I still worry about it. So I know that as a Taurus ascendant, I'm going to have to really be careful about my social circles during this time, setting clear boundaries there, making sure that I don't attract people that are not using their wealth well or are being a little snobby or just, how do I say this, unempathic, not nice people. So I know that money can change certain people. I actually am very, very happy and grateful when I see someone doing well, but when it changes their personality, it really is a sad thing to see. So I try to stay away from people like that. Who I also need to not let the desire to protect myself lead to coldness or apathy, um, and stay connected and empathetic despite the fact that I am myself worried about the finances. You know, Jonathan has some major health stuff going on, and it's expensive, despite the fact that we're living in Mexico. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. And I'm very thankful for my tarot and astrology business because that's still going. But I will say that losing my biggest client last year because he himself was going through some personal stuff, and then having to move to Mexico after Jonathan's house was destroyed by his sister-in-law, and then the possibility of losing his Social Security, it's a lot. So that's what I'm going through post-eclipse is I'm worried about being able to provide for us and his medications and everything else moving forward. So seeing what you guys are going. Okay, Tamantha says, I pulled from Into the Lonely Woods. I got All Seems Ended. Oh my, when All Seems Ended. Okay, so what does that mean to you, sweetie? I'd love to hear, you know, what you're getting from that card pull because I don't have that particular deck. I am curious. And oh, you have a Taurus ascendant also, Jane. Okay, so we're really going to be looking at our social circles a little differently moving forward. And for me, the social circles, they're going to need to change a little bit, especially if I'm attracting people that aren't using their wealth wisely or lording it over others. That seems to be a theme in my life with especially my parents. So that's where the wound comes from, is they didn't use their wealth well or share it, and stole from my sister and I. So that's coming up a little bit too, I think. And then in addition to Jonathan's family stealing from him and misusing their wealth, and that's been hard because, you know, in times where we're feeling insecure, like possibly losing our Social Security, things like that, it's very hard. especially something that we've paid into, that we've worked really hard for. So at least Jonathan has. So Nancy got the beautiful Nine of Cups. I see this as a message to go in deeper spiritually and not getting sucked into the darkness that is abundant now. Yes, that is beautiful, Nancy. And that is a wonderful reminder for us all. Thank you so much for sharing that, dear. And then Rooted Willow, take a moment to look upon what once was, let it go, give it honor, say goodbye, and then slowly stumble into this mysterious unknown which holds a beautiful future. That is wonderful. I love that you came up with a beautiful remedy to follow that card. We're not even there yet, and you're already getting there. I love that, Samantha. And then Jane goes, I got the Empress. Oh, that's beautiful. You know, I got the Queen of Pentacles followed by the Empress. I didn't want to share it because I asked for one card. What I think that means, honey, is that you are surrounded by abundance right now, and to just appreciate that, because that's what I get from the Empress, and to maybe practice more self-care, because you're constantly taking care of everybody else in and around your environment, whether it's your daughter-in-law, your mom, or your son's emotional state, the people that we love that are in and around us. For me, it's Jonathan and Rosie right now. We have to remember to take out time for ourselves and for that self-care. So that's what it means to me, but it could mean something different for you too. And Nancy says she's using the Murder of Crows tarot. That's perfect for Shani's day because his mount is the crow. I love that. And then Jonathan says, Madame Maru, it was not a victory. It was a coup. I know how you feel. Yeah. Jonathan's going through some pain and hurt there too. He worked in cybersecurity for a long time. And we're part of the cyber community on YouTube, and they actually came out with a lot of stuff, data packets and things like that, as well as the statistical probability of what happened. And it's like winning the Mega Millions 7 times in a row, week to week. So it's hard to hear news like that. So good morning, Mosaic. We are doing a tarot spread. We are on card 1, which is the eclipse shadow. What shadow things are coming out? And Jane said she's going to California to my mom's. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, that's a lot of Empress energy there. So make sure you're practicing self-care and looking after yourself as you do that. And yeah, Maruta says that, Madame Maru says that's why it's nagging at her too, Jonathan. So yeah, he's right there with you. And Jessica got the Lover's card, focusing on your relationships, maybe looking back at relationships, something like that. And then Hershey loves that deck too. I love that. Thank you for reminding people to hit the like, Mosaic. And then Jacqueline says, I just got paid for the month. Social Security disability doesn't go far, sadly. No, it doesn't. Quality but not overpriced Oracle cards. Okay, guys, you guys are on that. And then Garnet saying hello to Nancy. Welcome, Garnet. It's good to see you. We're doing a tarot spread. Okay, so let's go on to question 2, and I will pull that up, card 2. So the trigger. This card shows the immediate event or situation that's activating those eclipse-related feelings. What is setting us off? Okay, so let's find out what's setting us off. And this could be, it could be a specific relationship. It could be a work situation. It could be an eternal thought. Any kind of pattern that's activating the trigger feeling is kind of what I'm getting from the eclipse. I think I'm going to go to my light seers for this one. Got some great images in that one. So you guys can switch decks, have a little fun with it. No rules here. It's Roan Oracle. Right. Okay. Well, I got another Pentacles card, y'all. So I got the Page of Pentacles. So this is telling me that I need to embrace a very practical approach moving forward. I am a little worried about the money because a lot of the old systems that we relied on, that we paid into, that we thought would support us, are probably going to go away. So they're telling me to take off my crown and put on my page cap. I need to not be afraid to be very down to earth when it comes to managing our finances, our health, And just get in touch with everyday people like y'all, because that's who we are. And even if it makes me feel a little naive, ask lots of questions and not be afraid to get my hands dirty and get things done and figure out practical approaches to navigating this new landscape that's ahead of us. Um, this is a time of gain, not glamour, is what they're saying. And I need to use very common sense, sensible approaches to being more helpful, not only as a caregiver and helper to Jonathan, but also I need to pay attention to the natural rhythms and cycles in my life so that I can maintain that groundedness and look for people who are communicating useful information moving forward. There is a guy that we follow that's helping us navigate some of the Social Security stuff. And I need to move slowly as I do this because Pentacles are a very slow card. It's important that I take very deliberate and steady approach to my actions because we're moving into a new horizon when it comes to being able to support ourselves. And this might also be looking into a new business venture or, something that will require me to use more AI, new approaches to things, because the page tells me that this is something that's going to make me feel a little naive because it's new. It's something outside of my wheelhouse that I've stepped into and I'm looking to master. And that might help me juggle more than one ball in the air because a lot of the jobs and contracts that I've taken in the last bit have been very low in pay compared to what I used to get. Because corporations, even though they're saving an enormity on taxes and we're paying much more, they're looking for cheap global labor, and that really has brought down the ability for me to budget as effectively. But being in Mexico does help with that. So I'm curious to see what you guys got. Nancy got the King of Cups. Rather than being triggered, embrace balance and move out of anxiety. Seek wise counsel. Oh, that's sweet. Maria, that's Michelle, Marie, and Jonathan. Feel emotion, but don't drown in it. Yes, that is excellent advice. Jane says, I've been walking every day. It's helping me process all this energy. Jonathan said that that's something that he's been doing to process the energy as well. We walk with Rosie every day. So that's wonderful. All right. And then Samantha says, Cosmic Oracle, you got the celestial teacher. Knowing that you have the knowledge to share and release any doubts and hesitation. That's beautiful, Samantha. I love that. And then Garnet is headed to the Grand National Race. Okay. American horse race, and it could win. And Hershey says, have fun. All right. Have fun, Garnet. Okay. And let's see. And then everyone is getting good advice to Jacqueline. Thank you for that. And then Jane said she got the Seven of Cups. To me, this is all the stuff that is seen and unseen, unsettled. I can't exactly see a way forward. Eclipses do that. They cause fogging. So lots of options in the air, trying to stay grounded. I know that in Uttara Bhadra, and I know Uttara Bhadras, the people who have their moon here, when they got eclipsed with this energy, they struggled with reality. So it's important that we stay grounded, that we stay in reality and not allow the things in and around in our environment to unground us. So I love that you're already providing remedies and going on walks, Rishi. That's really great for this this energy. And Madame Maruta says, maybe the Empress is a good representation of your mom. That's a good point. Thank you for that, Maruta. Okay. All right. So thank you all for sharing. This has been wonderful. So now let's get to the old pattern. Okay. So this is a card that reveals a past pattern or behavior that you're repeating in this situation. What is your go-to reaction? Right. And I think I'll go to the Hermetic Tarot for this. So this could be, how are we reacting defensively? Are we withdrawing? I tend to withdraw when I'm undergoing a lot of trauma or change. How are we trying to control the situation? This card is going to show us our habitual response. I have a feeling what mine's going to be. Because yeah, we'll see. Whew. Okay. I am curious to see what you guys got, because I'm wondering if anybody else got what I got, because it's speaking to me. Let's see. I have to go into Facebook to see if anyone's in there, because I'm not getting that for some reason. Okay. All right. So this doesn't surprise me at all, you guys. This is a very Sagittarian card. This is Saturn in Sagittarius, and this is what I tend to do. Nine of Wands. Okay. So what this tells me is I do tend to take a very disciplined approach to my actions. My willpower is being tested right now, but this is also the card of the wounded warrior. So I tend to retreat and get behind my wall and just kind of keep an eye out, because I have been wounded financially throughout my entire life by people that I trusted. And now that men like my father are being elected into office, it's very difficult for me to see other people undergo the abuse I received as a child, financial abuse, all kinds, all levels, but the financial still affects me because I attract people who I trust, who are thieves, who are liars, who say that they want the best for the family, they want the best for other people. And whether it be a business partner or a friend or a family member or an in-law, hundreds of thousands of dollars of trauma, So I tend to, when I see men like the one in power and all of his buddies come into power and not care whether their actions kill people, take away their health care, take away things that they've paid into their entire life, I tend to go into retreat as a kind of a wounded warrior. So I know that I have a deep well of inner strength because I'm still here, perhaps even greater than I realize, and I need to tap into that a little more and stay disciplined and focused on what needs to be done to protect myself and my family, and avoid any excessive behaviors and negative influences at this time, especially people that are not empathic to our situation and who attack us instead of support us, whether that's verbal, financial, emotional, who don't understand that people can get sick sometimes, who understand that people have gone through trauma, and to hold their hand through it rather than attack them and kick them while they're down. Because whenever I went through a trauma in my life, my family kicked me while I was down. Like I was going through my divorce and they stole my identity, stuff like that, because they saw an opportunity. I wasn't paying attention. It brings out feelings like that. And so I kind of have to imagine myself as a soldier following orders right now and try to keep my emotions out of it. And that this visualization could kind of help me accomplish the task at hand with more endurance, and believe that I don't have a choice. I have to follow through. And that'll increase my likelihood of success. But realize that I've been through worse before and that I can handle this moving forward. Okay, so I'm curious to see what you guys have. Okay. All right, so Ten of Swords says it all. Yes, betrayal. Et Brute, yeah. That is our go-to reaction is we have been massively betrayed more than once in our lives, especially if we're empathic and we're helpful. So we tend to go back into that pattern a little bit as well. Maruta says, Six of Swords is my trigger. My family ran here to escape. Now they've taken over my refuge. Okay. Yeah, okay. Wow. And Jonathan says, we know exactly how that feels. Looks like we're going to have to keep moving. Slow traveling, I think it's called. Yes. And Nancy, you're so sweet. Thank you for helping Jacqueline out. That is so nice of you. And then Jane says, Knight of Wands, I just want to jump on a horse and run away, but my soul says stay and help. Okay, you do you. Ours told us to provide a landing spot. So that's what we have. It gives me a little bit of more sleep at night, knowing that we have a place that if someone is in an emergency, we can be a landing pad for them. Hierophant, you're talking about it a lot. Okay, so tapping into that higher self in the form of practicality. And I mean, the Hierophant for me is different than the High Priestess. The High Priestess is tapping into our divine intuition, our spirit guides, where the Hierophant is tapping into our moral core and the disciplined approach, the practical approach, the earthy approach to how we handle, in my opinion, immoral, ungodly people that are not following that moral core. And then Jacqueline says, my mom has dementia now, and I'm thankful, which is weird. She's stolen yours and your brother's identity, but she can't run the game anymore. Lights are on. No one is home anymore. Like, okay, that's good. I'm glad she can't do any more damage. I know that it's probably the reason why she's going through some of those karmas. Some of us are born into families where we have to set boundaries even as babies and children, and that brings up a lot of triggers for me too, Jacqueline. So thank you for sharing that, sweetie. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And I'm glad that you have a better hold of the situation now, and I'm sending you love as you continue that journey. Nancy, 8 of Cups, time to find my true way. The path ahead for me, my best interests. Yes. Also leaving behind what emotionally is not yours. That's been a big card for me lately. As an empath, I'm taking on a lot of the emotions of the collective, and it's like, drop it. And I'm like, but. So 8 of Cups is something I can relate to, Nancy, 100%. And that is, yeah, we're sending you lots of love, Jacqueline. I'm sorry that you and your brother had to go through that. Some people just, they don't get it, and they will eventually. So, Mosaic, number 1, nagging me. 8 of Pentacles, okay. So that's a work-related card, getting to work. Page of Cups fell. Okay, interesting. So something regarding a person at work is nagging you, someone of an emotional event at work. Okay, that's what I get from that. The trigger, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, that would be your resources. 3 old patterns, 7 of Cups, not really feeling grounded, too many options, feeling a little foggy after the eclipse. And the High Priestess in reverse, so it could be affecting your divine intuition. So practicing grounding is very, very key for you, Mosaic, is what I got from that reading. And I think a lot of that is because I've got a lot of Pentacles energy with the Queen and the Page, and then I've got that 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior. So I think grounding is key for all of us, and trying to take action from that more grounded approach. Thank you for sharing that. That's what a lot of us in the collective are feeling as well. Donna Marie, good morning. We are doing a tarot spread today. I hope you can join us. And then Jonathan says, Jacqueline, we had a family member cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars, so we know what betrayal feels like. That's just recently, too. It took me 10 years to get back on my feet, and then Jonathan's sister-in-law just were back to hand to mouth again, and it was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Destroyed our house. Now, luckily, I had some savings that I did from work because I live a very simple lifestyle. Don't eat out, don't go on vacations. The clothes I got are from Goodwill. And I don't really buy anything outside of food every month, and food and rent. So I'm able to save. And that's what saved us, because if I hadn't been so frugal with our finances, we would be homeless. So yeah, I understand that. So, okay. And then 7 of Cups could be compulsive shopping. Okay. All right. That's another, not really seeing too many options. Can't pick just one, so you pick them all. Oh, goodness. It could be that as well. Anything that we're not seeing, it's an illusion of reality. Too much Maya. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to our next card. Let me find it. So this is the wise action that we can take. Yay, we all love wise action. Ooh, this card offers the best course of action to take right now. What's the most constructive way forward? I'm going to call the Ganesha. Let's see if he wants to participate. He does. Thank you, Ganesha G. Right, and I'll give you guys a chance to pull that up. I'm seeing if anyone's on Facebook here. Okay, let's see. Okay. So you guys, I just did a show with Val and almost Marina. She's been having some issues with StreamYard, so send her lots of good Mercury retrograde vibes. Basically, I got the surrender card, and this is what Val and I talked about on Messages for Light Workers. So I love that it kind of did a full cycle for me. So this is in a state of sleep, a lot of our manifestations can take root. So they're telling me to take out some time for rest, for recovery, because I went through a lot of challenges and lessons that have been recently coming our way. I mean, we moved to another country, y'all. We got rid of everything we had, donated most of it, and moved to another country. So I haven't really taken a lot of time to retreat into a calm environment and kind of replenish my energy. I've just been pedal to the metal ever since we got here. And I need to take some time to regain my composure. It's been a lot because we get up pretty early and I go to bed pretty late because I've been trying to get more stable here. And I notice here that, Ganesha's hands, they're at rest. He's not doing his mudras. He's not doing his sacred hand gestures. He has no crown. He has no tilak. He's asleep. So I need to stabilize my energy a little more, maybe try to get in an hour or two more a night. It's probably healthier for me because I've been wrapped up in a really stress-filled time. I've been, again, pedal to the metal ever since we moved here, trying to create a grounded base for my husband and I. Get him a doctor that, again, his doctor doesn't speak English, so I've been learning, medical terminology, how the Ubers work here, where to get groceries and produce, it's been a lot, y'all. So in addition to the trauma we just basically ran from with what happened with this family, and then finding out that the courts were so backed up that there was no recourse for us. And even if there was, we couldn't afford a lawyer because we were so destroyed. So what Ganesha is telling me is, regardless of what I'm facing, Spirit is gently reminding me to just surrender to this challenge for a while and take some time for myself, knowing that when I'm ready, the task will still be there for me. And I need to take some time to heal my body and reset my mind back to positivity. Because again, I've just been running. And now's not the best time to make any big changes when I get this card. And I need a break so I can step into a clearer time ahead. That's what I got. So I'm curious to see what you guys got. Okay. And Jacqueline says, yep, not everybody wins the family lottery. Mom stole from her siblings too. I found out as an adult. Not a good person. I've got a really greedy mother too. I'm sorry you had to go through that as well, Jacqueline. You chose to do the opposite. She tried to make me evil. No dice. Yay! I'm glad that you went the other direction. I did too, sweetie. As empaths, we realize that that's not the way to be. We learn from it. And what my therapist told me was, you can go one of three ways. You can turn everything off and just skate through life without feeling anything. You can choose to feel it and deal with it, and then try to fix yourself, but be careful not to fix others. That's my big problem, is I try to fix other people in addition to myself. Or you become the monster. The current person in power in the United States became the monster. That's usually the easiest path, is when you're in a narcissistic family or a family member who is acting out criminally or psychotically, because I see stealing resources from your children, from your family members, is not great for the family. You could either become that person and be like, haha, now I got it from you, or you can get away from them and try to heal, or you can just turn everything off and pretend that there's nothing wrong. And I have a lot of friends that just go around and going, oh, I've never been abused. I'm fine. And I'm like, no, I've actually had to rescue you from your last husband and he beat the living crud out of you. I'm not going to let you just ignore that because you just attracted another one. So I've seen this. It's a very Seven of Cups type of energy where especially women will just forget that it happened and everything's happy now. And I call that toxic positivity. And they continue to live with the abuse, just pretending that everything's fine. That's not a great way of handling it. Neither is becoming a monster. The true way of dealing with it is to step into that feeling and try to heal from it and realize that that's their wound, not yours, and to separate yourself from that energy in a positive way, and to set appropriate boundaries with that person. So thank you for sharing that, Jacqueline. And yep, cycle breaker. That's exactly right. Good morning, Rachel. Sending lots of love to you and Sir Ollie, sweetie. Mosaic got the Page of Wands. Okay. So for me, the Page of Wands is about taking new action. When I asked if I should incorporate tarot into my astrology practice, I got the Page of Wands. So this could be a sign for you to maybe invite something new into your toolkit, something that can help you navigate this course of action in a more positive way. The most constructive way forward for you might be stepping into maybe taking some classes in an area that you're a novice in. You kind of get you outside of the box a little bit, thinking differently about things. I love that. That's beautiful. Rooted Willow, Ace of Swords, cut out what doesn't bring me joy. Ooh, that's a great one, Samantha. Yes. Learning to separate our emotions from our intellect in a way that is constructive moving forward. That's a beautiful way of looking at it. I love that. Jane got Justice. Love that card for you. Going to be at the Capitol today, enjoying thousands across the U.S. I'm glad you and Jonathan were able to move out of there. I realize not everyone can stay. Yeah, we weren't able to afford a life there anymore after what his family did. And with his health conditions, it was like, I'm going to go bankrupt. We're going to be, when you get to a place where it's like you're spending over $100,000 a year to support your family, and all you're doing is paying rent and buying food and medical, of course, you got to leave. I mean, that's how much our bills were. It was over $100,000 a year for us to live in the Redmond area and the Seattle area. And I was working all the time. And all we were doing was eating and paying rent. And the medical bills just got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. So we had to go. But I'm sending you tons of love as you make your voice heard. And I know Jonathan, you can chip in here. He's been to the Capitol. What protest were you in, sweetie? Vietnam, yeah. So he protested Vietnam, and that was Nixon, right? Yeah. And what did you say to Nixon?
Well, I'm not going to repeat it, but it was not a compliment.
So when Jonathan went to the Capitol during Vietnam, he got up on a microphone and they yelled out the boys that were killed during that time. And they had a whole list because they would release it on the news every morning. And he yelled one of the young men's name who had been killed in this money grab war. And he said Nixon looked right at him, and he looked right at Nixon. And it was like a moment when he looked right at the president, yelled this guy's name, and he goes, his blood is on you. You did this to the young men of America. And it was a very powerful moment, but it was also very emotionally charged. So make sure that you're taking care of your beautiful energy as you do that, Jane. Nancy got Queen of Cups, embrace unconditional love and be the light in this world. It's hard, but if we can't do this, who can? Be the high vibration that is so needed right now. Thank you, Nancy. She comes up reversed for me when I'm taking on other people's stuff. So that's a good reminder for me too, is to just try to navigate my emotional strength through this as well. That's a good reminder for all the empaths in the audience. Thank you for sharing that, sweetie. Madame Maru got Wheel of Fortune. I love that. So, seeing this as a time to best course of action. You know, if you're going through a good time, not a Maru, use this good fortune right now to propel you moving forward in the right direction, because I can tell you with the coming energies, it is not going to get much better. And I say that with love and with, how do I say this? Practicality moving forward. So you're in a good position to still make some positive changes with yourself, with your family, things like that. And seeing that you're in a place of good fortune is a beautiful way to move forward. I love that. And I hope that you're doing well, sweetie. It is lovely to see you too, Rachel. We're doing a little tarot spread to deal with some of the eclipse energies we're feeling. So you're welcome to join in or play back a little bit. We're on card 4 right now. Okay, sweetie? All right. So Jacqueline says, 4 p.m. 3 miles away, we're all meeting up at a big intersection and holding. Keep your hands off signs. Okay, thank you. And then, yes, we are so proud of you for demonstrating, and know that Jonathan and I, we get up every morning and we pray for you guys in the collective and for your safety. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, that's not uncommon, sweetie. A lot of empaths struggle with various forms of excess after going through that level of trauma. So you're not alone. And I'm glad that you are able to push through that. That's a beautiful thing. And you're going to Safety Harbor, St. Pete, and Tampa have things in my area today. Okay, excellent. And they want us fat, sick, and addicted. Glad you got out. Yes, very, very much so. And Jane said, my husband served during Vietnam, but he enlisted and joined the Navy. He was on a huge ship the whole time. Oh, my goodness. And Jonathan did what was called alternative service. He worked in the hospitals. So that's what he did. And then it was a horrible time in our history. So, yeah. And Nicole is here. It is lovely to see you. And then I keep wanting to cut out my loop recorder from my chest because I found a lump under it. Okay. Going to the doctor. Okay, well, we'll pray for for a good doctor's appointment for you, Nicole. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through that, sweetie. Okay. So let us go on to our next lovely card. And I'm going to go ahead and put up the spread again so that you guys can see what it looks like for those who just joined us, because a few people just joined us. Here it is. This is the Vedic Tarot Post-Eclipse spread, and we are now on the Healing Balm. Okay, so I will put up the banner for the Healing Balm. So this card suggests what you need to do to nurture yourself and find your inner peace. What will soothe our soul? Okay. You want to do Ganesha again? Let's see, because Ganesha is kind of my go-to guy. Let's see if he wants to talk. Oh, he really wants to talk. Okay, 1 card, Ganesha G. He's like, no, you get 2. Oh. Okay, I'm excited to see what you guys got. I got some really good ones. Okay. So again, this would be like, this is about self-care. This is a self-care card. It can suggest meditation, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, pursuing a creative outlet, things like that. What I got, you guys, is belonging. And I'm so glad to be a part of this community. So thank you for helping me find security within by being open and by being you, and for sharing your stories and what you're going through, and for protesting and being part of a community and saying this isn't right, because belonging is that is what solves the predicament of the ego, the feeling that we're alone. And it's that perceived separation that isn't true. And when we sit in meditation and we feel the divine source, we know that we're not separate, we're always connected. But sometimes the ego can get in the way and make us feel like we're separate. And I've been feeling like that ever since I moved to Mexico. So I'm glad that I have this community to tap into and to listen to. And even though I haven't been able to be on as many of your shows because of the construction, I do watch them. I do get a lot from you guys. And this tells me I need to get out of seclusion and bond more with y'all. So you guys are my community. You're my peers. And I'm very thankful for you. So I'm glad that I pulled this card. And I know that the ego is neither good nor bad, and it's a necessary part of my existence. But like I said, I got that Knight of Wands. I tend to retreat when I'm undergoing trauma and deal with it alone. And it's important that I focus on the positive feelings of being part of a community. And I learn to trust and ask for help and rely on others. That's very difficult for me to do. I can't ask for help. It's hard. And it's been hard helping Jonathan too. I love him very much, but he's been going through a lot. So, and then Ganesha gave me 2 cards because he's just sending me all kinds of love today. I got the guidance, my guides. They're my family. I literally call them my family every day when we go to our altar multiple times a day. Every time we eat, we give them our food first. It's our form of prasad. And then I meet them in the morning and I meet them before I go to bed. We do our mantras and all of our stuff for them. So this is all about continuing to communicate with my soul, discovering and manifesting my purpose moving forward. These are the Trimurtis. This is Shiva, Ganesha. This is Shiva, Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. They form the Trimurti, and there's Ganesha in the center here. And so this tells me to really just tap into them, continue to ask them for advice because they've been very helpful for me moving forward. And as I open, I know that my soul will be able to communicate a better inner purpose moving forward. And when I recognize their promptings, my life can start to take on a more magical quality that I can then share with you in my beautiful community and belonging. So this just tells me that I can rely on my intuition, my inner knowledge during this time, rather than my intelligence or conscious mind, because she's going, what? Because my intelligence, my conscious mind, I'm reading things coming out of Pew Research Center, MIT, and it's crazy. My intellect is not happy with what's going on. So my intuition is something I really need to rely on, especially as we go through these very foggy eclipse energies that are not great. So I'm also being very attentive to my dreams. I've had some very, very vivid ones lately, and I get up and I share them with Jonathan, and I write them down. And just to let you guys know, I actually had a dream that I went through J.D. Vance's death 2 nights ago, and I found his voting ballot. And I was like, what was that dream about? And they said that they're not going to honor voting anymore. So I had to really kind of sit with that for a while. And my intellect was screaming, like, you have to do something. Like, what are we going to do? But my intuition said, take a breath. We're just showing you what's coming. New opportunities await. It's going to be okay. It's just a lot to handle, y'all. So I'm glad that I have you, and I'm glad that I have the guides to help me moving forward, and that I can engage in this energy with you guys. So thank you for that. I'm excited to see what you guys have. Thank you for being my healing balm. I love you guys. And Rooted Willow, Awakened Soul, 4 cards flipped out. Devotion to things and people I cherish. You got a similar card to me. Treasure, receive the gifts from the guides. I love that you got guidance too. Adventure and rescue, trust your guides. Yes. Oh, Samantha, we got a similar reading. I love that. It's all about community, relying on the guides, helping each other. And I'm glad the community means a lot to you too, Janet. It's lovely to see you, dear. Nancy says, rely on my guides and angels. There you go. We're all getting the same message. And Nancy, 9 of Swords, nightmares. I've traveled into waking hours. It tells me I need to work this out by rituals and focusing on what's good and true. Yes. And know that card is about illusions too. So cutting through those illusions and seeing the reality of our situations so that we can take decisive action that presents us with the best path forward. And we all deserve grace. Thank you for that, Jacqueline. I agree. Yeah, thank you. Helpers do need help too. It's just I don't know how to ask for it. When I was a kid, I had to do everything myself. So it's like, it's like kind of a fish out of water here. And thank you, Jane. I appreciate you, sweetie. And know that Jonathan and I will be with you as you go on your grand trip. You said my train trip across the U.S., the Chariot. I'm going to sit there in my room and watch the country go by. I'm so excited. That is beautiful. I love that. And Jacqueline, Jonathan says that all the time. All evil needs is for good people to do nothing. Yeah, we're right there with you. And that's kind of why we feel a little abandoned by people that should be doing something about this. When people break the law, they need to be held accountable for breaking the law. Call me crazy. But when we found out the court system was broken in our area after what his family did, I said, well, we know that there's nothing protecting us anymore. We got to leave. And that was hard. So I'm thankful for the belonging that's still there in this community. So we're not completely without support. I need to remind myself of that. Okay. Mosaic said, soothe my soul, Knight of Wands reversed. Okay, you might be feeling a little stuck with this energy. That's what my Knight of Wands card is, like, can't move yet card. So how can you nurture yourself while you're kind of in this stuck energy? Sometimes that's meditation, taking it slower, like not just acting right away, but taking things slower. That's kind of what it would mean for me, but I'm curious to what that means for you. Right. Oh, and you're amazing too, Nicole. It's lovely to have you in the audience for this spread today. Thank you for joining us, dear. And wonderful, wonderful. Ooh, and Maha Mrityunjaya says, stop thinking and start doing. Okay, that's a good. It's hard to break patterns, yes, but that's what this is. This is what's going to help us out of this, Nancy. And I mean, I got that Page of Pentacles, and that tells me I've got some patterns to break, especially when it comes to my my view of the material. So, and yes, we're very excited for you, Jane. Yay! I love trains. And Madame Maru says, may Michael and Gabriel see you safely there. Yes, 100%. In the Trimurti and Yogananda and every single one of your guys, you know you have a million of them. So, because you're special. All right. And then, oh yeah, we love the visual of the train ride. I had it in my head too. That's going to be great. And then Nancy's always wanted to travel on the Orient Express. Ooh, very cool. You know, with your tea and oh, I can totally see that, Nancy. I'd love that for you too. And then, yes, it takes time to create healthy new habits. I think that's kind of what I'm stepping into as well, as healthy new habits as well, because we moved countries. So today we're going to go to the farmer's market and get lots of yummy fruits and fresh vegetables and things like that. And I'm excited for that. Everyone's saying, have fun, Jane. Yay! All right. So last but not least, let's get to our last card. So this is the emerging strength. This card shows the strength or positive outcome that can emerge from navigating this challenge. What will you gain? Let's see. What will we gain? Okay, Ganesha, do you want to show up too? Maybe. Let's see. I did get a good tarot card. He does. Oh, come on, Ganesha. You're amazing. I love it when our guides step forward and really help us through these times. I'm just so thankful for them. Okay. Whew. All right. So this is what I'm going to gain from this, y'all. Patience, synthesis, forgiveness, healing, moderation, blending. I'm going to gain more balance from this. I got the Temperance card. So any extremes that have been in my life, I can bid farewell to those. I'm going to have a more moderation in aspects of my life. Maybe not acted as impulsively as I had to when I was living back in Seattle, because y'all, I had multiple jobs just to try to keep the bills paid. It was a rat race that I'm glad to be out of. I just did our budget for the month, and I just looked at the number and went, that's all we spent, because I'm used to spending $7,000 to $8,000 a month to keep us going. That's how hard I was working. It's more than one job, guys. I mean, I'm a millennial. Millennials were kind of used to working more than one job, especially since 2008. But it was running me into the ground, trying to keep my head above water. And here, yes, we still have bills. Yes, the medical stuff is a lot. Yes, there's still food and rent and everything else. But compared to the Redmond area, it's like living in another country, another world. So this tells me that I'm going to be able to harmoniously blend my time, my endurance, and my resources a little better, even though my first card was I was worried about them. So I am feeling a bit of a sense of urgency in this area because, his most recent medication is not cheap. In the United States, you put a 0 on it. So, but it's still expensive here. But if I take a more deliberate and steady approach to my path moving forward, and I take necessary steps to attain them, I know I'm going to find balance in this area. And rushing or forcing things is not going to give me any fruitful results. So, and patience is my biggest foe right now, and I need to sit in patience and really rely on that. And as I do that, for my emerging strength, what I can gain from this, yay, patience, is I got a positive outlook. I need that because I know what's going to happen. And I've been very candid about what I've been seeing, especially in the sky. And it's been hard for me to tell you guys the truth. Actually, very hard, because I want to I love giving people good news. I love people that are doing well in life, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I don't like to see people sick or financially stressed or emotionally hurt. It brings me down. And so I had to develop a more positive outlook as I go through this and practice more patience with some of the energies that are going to emerge from this, and realize that I can still stand in my truth and see what's going on and call it out, but at the same time, keep a positive outlook and try to keep a better balance on my emotions. So I'm learning to balance my emotional state. That's what I feel is going on, because my intellect is screaming. My intuition is telling me what's going on, and I don't like it. I'm truthful about it, but I don't like it. So I remember when I was a little girl, we were in California when the big quake hit, and my room split in half. I think I was like 3 years old at the time. And my parents came in because they weren't sure if I was alive or dead. It was that bad of an earthquake. And I looked at both of them and I said, I can't like it. And for a 2 or 3-year-old, that's different. But that's kind of how I am when I see trauma, when there's a big event going on, like an earthquake or a major health scare or a financial collapse, or I see someone that is just really going through a lot, or I myself am going through a lot. It's hard for me to keep that positive outlook, but I'm always candid about it. I don't brush it under the rug and pretend it's not there. So that is something about my personality that I know that not everybody has. It's like when I see it, I don't brush it under the rug. I look right at it, but it gets in the way of me keeping a positive outlook, especially when I know what's coming is not great. So that's a reminder to me to practice more patience and balance and stability, and to not go into any extremes or impulsivity at this time, because that's not going to serve my higher purpose moving forward. So, all right. The wonderful Amanda is here. It is lovely to see you. She goes, I can relate. I spend about $7,000 a month on bills, and that's without going anywhere. Totally there. It's just, I don't get it. It's insane how much it costs to live. And so we're in Mexico, it's better here. And I might do a budget for y'all once we on Boomer Mill, because we're going to do our first show is going to be on the food here, grocery stores, farmers markets, things like that. The cost of things. You go to the grocery store, eggs are between they're about $1.10 for a dozen. If you go to one of these stands, I got 2 eggs for 7 pesos the other day. So just to let you guys know, 20 pesos is $1. So yeah, I'm loving Mexico. So I'm feeling a little bit better about where we live now as far as our bills. We still have bills, but it's not Seattle, it's not Redmond, and I think you're in Hawaii, right, sweetie? That's expensive too. I live in Hawaii too. It's been about almost 5 years in Hawaii. All right, so let's see what you guys got. And yes, I'm finding my middle. Yay. And it's wonderful to see you, Amanda. Thank you for being with us. Jane got 9 of Pentacles. That's the wish. Is that the wish card? No, that's 9 of Cups. 9 of Pentacles is, ooh, that's the independent woman card, stepping out of any kind of codependency and really just being that independent woman. You got all your pentacles stacked up. You are good to go. So you're stepping into a period of profound independence, slow growth, but independence. I love that, Jane. So look for snails in your environment. The Queen of Pentacles might be sending you some of those as a reminder of your the bounty that's coming for you. And then Madame Maru says, I have a train too. I had one of those wooden whistles I gave to my nephew. Oh, those are so cool. I love those. And then ooh, Jane says, I get gourmet food the whole way, probably far too rich for myself. Enjoy it. You're on vacation, dear. Enjoy the food. Especially post-eclipse, we need a little comfort. And then Janet says, I love doing spreads and journaling. Yes, that's how I got into tarot. As I was going through my divorce and I wasn't grounded. And the astrology was really bad. I was going through my Saturn return. And so the tarot kind of helped me see what I was struggling with, because I was at a very reversed high priestess energy during my divorce. And the tarot kind of helped me navigate the way forward and see things I wasn't seeing. So I love that you journal, Janet Lee. That's beautiful. And yes, please jot things down. Let us know how that goes for you, sweetie. And then Samantha, starting healthier habits. I'm right there with you. Yep, definitely. Okay, let's see what else here. And then Mosaic got the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, that's collaboration, working with others. You know, when I get the 3 of Pentacles, especially when it comes to work, it tells me to step outside of my headset and involve other people in the project, because they might have something to bring in that I'm not considering. So there might be 1 or 2 people in your environment that can help you navigate through this. All right. And Madame Maru says, just bring a little fiber and digestive enzymes and enjoy. Yes, papaya seeds are very helpful here in Mexico. I found those. Oh, they're amazing. Okay, and then Nancy's got Ace of Swords. Woohoo! Cut away negativity and stress. What no longer serves me and start anew. I have the power. I just need to use it. Yeah, step into that beautiful, divine mental power. When I get the Ace of Swords, that tells me one of your guides might be stepping forward and helping you cut that out of your life. So maybe next time you sit in meditation, I know you do this all the time, but ask which one of you would like to step forward and help me with this. Because when I get the ace, that tells me that's a spirit guide that wants to help. So I'm curious to see who that is for you, Nancy. This is someone who's got a good, it might be Archangel Michael. He's got a big sword. For me, it's usually Kali, because she's got a big sword, or Durga. But yeah, maybe stepping into any form of Parvati, especially during Navaratri, really helps me through that. So, and Jane lived in Redmond. Oh my goodness, it's expensive now, honey. Ooh, it's expensive. Like the cost, like we go to Costco and come home and I'm like, But I love that you lived in Redmond too. That's neat. Okay. And then Jacqueline says, The Middle Way is an interesting read by Lou Marinoff. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Thank you. And you had your babies in Seattle. Oh, so you know the area well. Okay. And then Maruta, you got Knight of Wands. That's the move card. You might move. I don't know. I know that you said that you lived in Buffalo for a while and you moved out of that area. I don't know how you survived those winters. Those are some insane winters. We were going to actually move out to that area, and there was a huge blizzard that hit, and I'm like, probably not the best. And I'm glad we didn't at the time, because we didn't see this thing with Jonathan's family coming. So it all worked out. But you might need a move in your future. We'll see how that goes. And then Garnet just shuffled and got the King of Wands. What's meant for the day? Okay, that's decisive action. That's a very passionate king. Stepping into action with assertiveness and control. I love that for you, Garnet. And then, oh, you got Seven of Swords on the bottom. Okay, well, I'm just going to let you know, Madame Maru, that has been a stalker card for what I feel is coming for the United States economy. We already see it coming. And the Knight of Wands reversed is who I saw winning the election. It was Ace of Cups reversed, which is my card for Kamala, because she's a lotus. Kamala means lotus in Sanskrit, and there's lotuses in the card. And then I got the 10 of Swords for Trump. And I'm like, okay, he's going to have an E2 Brute moment. We know that's coming in probably around 2026. So he's just the front man for this huge thing behind him. So I went, well, if he's not going to win and she's not going to win, who's going to win? And I got the reverse Knight of Wands coming through. And I'm like, who's this reverse Knight of Wands? And Jonathan said, you'll know him when he comes out on stage and takes credit for it. And then out comes Elon. And we went, no. And that was it. So, yeah. He's a Seven of Swords kind of energy, and he has an Anagarak yoga in the second house of the United States. It's his house. It's his eighth house of other people's money. So, unfortunately, and he's in Rahu Mahadasha right now, so it's activated, and it's not great. And he's got Venus in his 12th house too, which explains all the baby mamas too. So it's just a lot of drama, but. Yeah, that's been a bit of a stalker card for me, and that's why it's been hard for me to be candid and to stay positive while I was being candid, because it's like when I see wrong happening, I don't tend to be in the best balanced place about it. And I think that's what the guides are helping me with, is trying to be more balanced despite of what's going on, because my mental headset is like really worried about, especially families that are struggling with disabilities, major medical conditions, whether it's children or older parents, things like that. Those are the people that really rip my heart out, knowing that if that gets taken away, that there's millions of people that could die. That's what gives me my nightmare card, Nancy. And that's why they gave me positive outlook, because I go to bed with these thoughts and they're not healthy. So, and then, that's almost 6 times more than my SS check. Yeah, Redmond's not cheap. Apparently Hawaii isn't either. It's, again, I couldn't stay, especially after what Jonathan's family did. I said, we're going to be out of money in 3 years, even with me working pedal to the metal, unless we get out of here, And in addition to that, the guides told me that the stuff with the election was going to happen and everything else. And I shared that with you guys back in October. So we just made a decision for us. It was best to move, to leave. And we pray that you guys are just doing the best that you guys can do for you and your family. But it's interesting that you got that Seven of Swords energy too, Maruta, because I'm really struggling with that, Madame Moreau. So did you live in the Valley? I forgot exactly where that apartment building fell, Northridge. Okay. And we actually lived near Redmond Town Center. You know where the Microsoft campus is? It's kind of in that area. So, because we both worked in tech. And so we were near Google, and we contracted with them. And I was getting my cybersecurity stuff at the time, and which was Python at the time. Now it's all AI. But yeah, that's interesting, Northridge. I love that. And then Jonathan says, Nancy, it's way more than Social Security checks. They haven't kept up with inflation since the 70s. You're right, Jonathan. Yeah, you are correct. And then Amanda says, it's ridiculous what my monthly expenses are. I pay $800 a month just for medical insurance. Yep, this doesn't include doctor's appointments, medications, which is insane. Spent over $6K last year. Yeah, we spent about over $100,000, and we didn't go anywhere or do anything. And we just looked at each other, well, we can't live like this. So I'm right there with you, Amanda. So I pray that you could do this spread and find some balance in your life too, because we all need it for sure. And Kelly is here. It's lovely to see you, Kelly. Thank you for joining us. Guys, it's been over an hour. I just realized that. Oh my gosh. And then, yes, food in the UK has gone up as well. Okay, it's not just us, it's everywhere. In Mexico, we're going to do a boomer mill on this. So if you guys tune in, we'll see. It depends on when the construction's done. We're going to do a boomer mill on the food in Mexico and the cost of that's giving us too. So, and your SS check is more now. That's good, Nancy. Okay, but it is still tight. We are right there with you. So, all right, you guys are all talking about that, and you might need to move to Mexico. Yeah. I'll just share with you guys how much I spent this month. And that includes my business expenses. $2,400. That's everything. And that includes his medications. Compared to 7 or 8 grand. Now again, that's a big change. So whenever I get on and do a budget with you guys, now, yeah, I will say that I spent a lot more on food the previous month. So it's kind of like eating the food from the previous month. So, but to live a simple life here and not do too much, which we don't because we're still getting grounded, that's doable for us because I'm working. So, and then, yes, Archangel Michael, I love that that's who you saw with the sword. That's the first person that popped into my head, was the first angel, I should say. I was like, that's a good one. Love that for you, Nancy. And Kelly got the Hermit. Okay, spending more time in introspection, listening to that beautiful inner voice. I love that for you, Kelly. And then, yes, we agree with you, Amanda. This was something people paid into, and to take it away is theft. That's why I think Madame Maru also got that 7 of Swords energy. And you're trying to get to Oklahoma. Well, that could be the Knight of Wands energy as well. Just know that a lot of the things that we're seeing are going to happen more nationally. So I'm not looking forward to that, but just be aware of that. Okay, guys? And then, yes, his cup does, Gerald's cup holds a nice cup of tea. Yes, it does. And you guys, I have his link in the description because we can't get too much Gerald, which we call him Cowbell in the community. And then bottom was Ace of Swords. Okay, so taking a more mental approach, perhaps relying on one of your guides, as you see, because you got the Hermit, which tells you introspection. This is what it means for me, at least. And then you got that beautiful Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is different than the King or the Queen. For me, that's like stepping into our own action. The Ace is relying on one of the guides to help you out. So there could be a guide in there, Kelly, with a sword that can help you mentally process what's going on in the best way forward when you sit in meditation. So I really love that for you. Thank you for sharing. And then my spirit guide card, the 6 of Cups, was at the bottom. Possibly someone you worked with in the past memory, going into the archives and looking for answers. And you are going home. So it would be interesting to see if you met anybody at home, or if someone from the past comes up that can kind of help you navigate through the coming changes, Jane. I love that. And then Janet says, number 6, from the Talisman Oracle deck, willpower, the Bull. Channel your willpower through fierce dedication. Stay confident in your abilities. The Bull will help with strength and resilience and persevere. I love the Bull. Shiva, he's here. He rides a bull called Nandi. And Nandi's just an incredible spirit animal to tap into. But what he represents is the ability to slowly navigate through change and remain grounded as you do it. And to sit in meditation and come at it with a practical inner approach. That's what I got for that. And I love that you got that fierce dedication there too, because Nandi was fiercely dedicated to Lord Shiva. Toward the end of the world, as there's a churning of the ocean of milk as part of the Vedic philosophy. And long story short, a giant snake went all over the world with poison, and it was going to destroy the world. And Shiva managed to trap some of it in his throat, but he didn't get all of it. And he's immortal. Nandi drank some of the poison to assist Shiva. So he gave his life for Shiva. And of course, he's immortal with Shiva, but it's about that fierce dedication. So I love that you picked up on that too. That's what I got from it. And then, yes, human lives have value. No matter what, disability teaches compassion and gratitude. 100%, Madam Maruta. That's why I'm struggling with that too. Okay, so I'm part Hawaiian, but live in Georgia. Okay, got it. I wasn't sure if you lived in Hawaii or not, because I know that you are part Hawaiian. Thank you for the Georgia. I didn't realize it was that expensive there too. Oh my goodness. Ugh. So, and well, I can say he has an Anagarok in his chart and it's being activated right now. That allows people to get jumped, especially if they're doing drugs. So if you see a more demonic energy, that's what you're picking up on. Okay, Nicole. So unfortunately, some people don't want to have to deal with some of their pain and their fear and their anxiety or their obsessions, and they allow other things to take the wheel. It's not always the best decision to make. So, okay. And you got a refund, Garnet. That's great. Okay. And half of your monthly expenses are tied to medical. That's the reason why we moved, is we started getting some of the medical bills and went, we got to go. This is just insane. So I pray that you can find, just to let you know, a doctor's appointment with a specialist in a really nice area in a tourist zone is $50, Amanda. $50. And the main medication Jonathan is taking would cost us 10 times more in the United States. So just something to consider. And you don't always need a prescription here in Mexico or need to go to a doctor to get your prescriptions, because most things are just over the counter. You just go in and they give it to you. So that's just also something to keep in mind. And then when you said when you were a child, your room fell apart, where was that? That was in California. So big California quake. I think we were in between places. We lived in San Diego for a while, but before we were in San Diego, we were closer to LA. But I was really young. I'll have to look up exactly where we were. We moved around a lot because my parents were in the military. A lot. And so I'll have to see exactly where it was, but that was the story I was told. So, oh, and I hope this spread is helpful for you, Amanda. Definitely. And then, oh, thank you for watching the Boomer Mill show. Yeah, we put a lot into this one. I've got some fun reels of us going to the markets, and I have all the prices of everything, so you guys can watch that. And then, what do we do for medical? Well, we just literally go. We get an appointment with a specialist. It's around $50. They diagnose you, and you can go to any of the pharmacies around here and get your medication. Way easier than healthcare in America. At least that's our experience. So, and you're not going to go bankrupt over it, because they actually take care of their people here. So, and it's an incredible difference, yes. And we did make a big change to move. Now, again, that was me being enormously frugal, like crazy frugal, but we did manage to do it. So, and it made me sleep a little better. Let's just put it that way, because I don't want to be homeless, you guys. I don't know about you guys, but we were headed that way if we stayed in Redmond, because when you're spending $7 to $8 grand a month to survive, that's just not survivable. So, and I'm right there with you, Amanda. It's insane. So, all right. And you're spending money on plants, Garnet. Oh my goodness, community garden. All right. Yes, saddle up. It could be a bumpy ride for all of us. I agree. And yes, I love community gardens too. Ooh, yes. Jane, thank you for reminding me. You said this on the show once. She goes, Ace of Swords. It's like Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc is a beautiful guide. So it's like a guide stepping in with a sword of truth and really providing light to the situation and helping you cut through the illusions. I love that, because she was a truth teller. So that's beautiful, Jane. And then sacrifice. All right. And oh, did Rosie make an appearance? I don't know. She might have. Rosie's in the background here. She's my little dog. And you live in Denver, super expensive. You're not alone, Kelly. It's just getting to be ridiculous. And a lot of people are choosing an expat lifestyle because of that. So, all right. And you keep seeing ketamine ads on my Facebook page. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to look it up. I just know everyone's talking about certain people being on it. I don't even know what it does, but that's interesting. So, and let's see. You have to speak to end your worries. Okay. And then Jacqueline says it's everywhere. It's here in West Central Florida. Many homes cannot be insured. Yeah, there's that too. I mean, we lost our home because of that as well, but it was because his sister-in-law lied, but to protect her boyfriend. Oh Lord, it's a whole story. Poor Jonathan. 40 years of his life gone. But the insurance companies, they look for any excuse not to pay out, and you have to take them to court. And we couldn't take them to court because we didn't have the money or the resources. And they said courts are full because of COVID, and you're going to be past the statute of limitations before you're able to collect. So it would have been just a complete waste of our time and energy and money to try to get the $540,000 this person ran off with. So I hear you. Something I gotta let go of. So, we'll see you later, Hershey. Take care, sweetie. All right. Have a wonderful day. So, so you're almost paralyzed for 45 minutes. That sounds like heroin or something. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yes, everyone's saying take care, Hershey. Lovely to see you, dear. And then Nicole says we spend about $4,000 a month in Virginia with a family of 2 adults and 4 children. We're pretty good at money management. Yeah, if you're only spending $4,000 with your kids, that's very good money management. But not spending beyond our means as well, though. Yeah, that's hard for sure. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take this banner down. Yay. So I'll go ahead and put this up one more time for those who just came in at the end. This is the Vedic Tarot post-eclipse spread. First, we did the eclipse shadow, then the trigger, then the old pattern, the wise action we could take moving forward, the healing balm, and what are we emerging from. So before I leave, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a mantra that you can take with you. This is the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra. It helps us with our path moving forward, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and give it to you, and you guys can do this, and it'll invite your guides in. And I love that Nandi is in the card too. He came up as well, the bull. All right. This can help us work through these post-eclipse challenges. And just remember, you're not alone, guys. We're all going through this transformation together. And I hope this helps you with healing, protection, and overcoming those obstacles you're feeling, okay? Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityunjaya Mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityunjaya Mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityunjaya Mantra. Om Shanti 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 Om Peace Peace Peace. Whew. So know that Jonathan and I are sending you all tons of love. If you want a more individualized reading, you guys know the drill. You can go to astrologicaltarot.com. If you need anything there, we're here. Okay, I've got lots of specials going on as well. Additionally, I have this channel here. So if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, if you just join us, that's a wonderful way that you can support too as we go through this together, because I did get that beautiful community card. And if you want to be part of our upcoming workshops, I'm going to be doing these every Tuesday. I have a membership going on. It's only $4.99 a month. You can click to join and send me your date, time, place of birth for individual readings. I have to take a look at Hershey's chart. Thank you for reminding me of that. But you are welcome to join us on Tuesdays for workshops. And those are private events where we go in and we just talk about charts and really get into the energies of the day. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. Know that I'm sending you lots of love. I'll hopefully be here tomorrow, and we can, chat and talk about what's going on in the sky and be a support for each other. So I am sending you all tons of love. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Love. Take care, everyone. See you soon.
Sacred knowledge from the stars. Vedic truth heals ancient scars. Mantras clear the karmic way, bringing light to guide each day. Let the planets show their signs as the cards and stars combine. Ancient wisdom flows through